Today I wanted to talk about the Catrice Nude Drop Tinted Serum Foundation, another of the foundations that promise to be lightweight and hydrating. I didn't wear much makeup on a day-to-day basis during the pandemic, as it would have rubbed off to the mask anyway, and after 3 years of having nothing but concealer on my face, I simply couldn't go back to the medium to full coverage ones I had preferred before that. The solution? Buy more makeup. Isn't that how it always goes? Jokes aside, how did the Catrice Nude Drop Tinted Serum Foundation work for me? If you're new here, welcome. I'm Dr. Anne, a physician passionate about skincare and well-aging. The claims are what you would expect when you read the name. Lightweight texture, hydration, and one not as common in that genre, long-lasting hold and coverage buildable up to medium. Oh, and a natural matte finish for a radiant complexion, which confused me a bit. In my mind, matte and radiant are two different things. It comes in a dropper bottle, something I really dislike in foundations as I managed to make it look messy within days. There are 16 different shades available, and they not only differ in depth but also in undertone, being divided into cold, neutral and warm. I picked the color 002 Neutral and found it to be quite pale even in winter. What surprised me was the coverage, which in my opinion isn't light to medium but medium to full. A few drops were enough to even out my skin tone significantly and even cover mild redness and pigmentation. And if I used as much as I would use from another foundation, only really angry zits needed additional concealer. While the initial finish was definitely matte, it turned glowy quite quickly, especially around my nose and chin. Even with powder on top, it was too shiny for my taste after 3 hours and simultaneously started to disappear. After 4 hours, it looked patchy in my T-zone. After 6 hours, it had basically disappeared. And not always in a good way. Maybe it is the high pigmentation. The brand says it uses specially coated pigments to ensure long-lasting hold, but I found it to have a tendency to settle into my pores over time. Another thing I found tricky was finding the best way to apply it. I tried a damp beauty blender and the buffing brush, but both seemed to push it into my pores right from the start and made it look patchy. What worked best was using my fingers and only a little bit of product at a time, basically pressing it into my skin using the warmth of my hands, or doing the same thing with a dry sponge or a silicone applicator. Once it had set, it was pretty smudge proof, but during the application process you needed to be careful not to lift off product you had already applied with the next layer. As you might have guessed already, I am not going to repurchase this foundation. After a little trial and error, I managed to make it work, and for the first few hours I really enjoyed the coverage and finish, but it disappeared way too quickly to be something I could wear for work. And quite frankly, I purchased it because I wanted something I could just throw on without thinking twice about it. If I want full coverage, I have other foundations that I reach for. I assume that when your skin is more on the dry side, it will work better, as the quick breaking down is probably due to my T-zone still being more oily than the rest of my face. But if you expect light coverage, easy foundation, this is not the one I would suggest. If there's anything you would like to add, please do so in the comments below. I will link to more videos you might find interesting on the screen, and add links to my Instagram and blog in the description box. And if you want exclusive Q&As, behind the scenes content, or just get more involved, become a channel member. I would love to have you join the community. See you soon. Bye!